'cause I'm in a New York.
All right, good evening, everybody. Good evening. Well, we're about to get started with what I believe is known as the toast and tears. It's going to be Meg's favorite part. Do you have? Yeah, you do. You have a pack of napkins. Can we get more? Can we borrow everybody's and bring it to the head table? Perfect. Oh, perfect box. That's brilliant. That'll be empty after the first speech. So at this time, we're going to get started with a few of the family speeches. So I would like to welcome Meg's dad, Mike, to come to the podium.
Thank you, Brendan. Years ago when I was a school teacher, I didn't have to rely on notes, but I've been out of the loop for so long that now I must rely on some written words. So here goes. First of all, welcome family and friends. I am Megan's dad, Mike, as you may know, and it is with the greatest of pleasure that I welcome you to this corner of paradise on behalf of Wade and Megan, or from now on, as we know them, Mr. and Mrs. Anderson. After receiving hundreds of emails that we read, and journeying thousands of miles and waiting for over a year, the moment has arrived. The wedding we just witnessed was not only beautiful, but emotionally moving for all of us. On this day, did not only did East meet West, but East married West. To Wade, we couldn't possibly be any prouder to have you become part of our family. This day will be treasured forever. To Meg, I wish to speak on behalf of your family and many friends present and at a distance, both back in New Brunswick and Alberta, who could not be with us today. Wade, we want you to know that what you see in Megan today began when she was just a little girl. She always remained true to who she was and valued every life experience. At that early age, she would dance rings around the living room with her best friend, Beverly. Thank you. I didn't have Bev's name down, so Megan had to help me on that. Ready to organize her next great adventure. Today's adventure tops them all. I promised this would be short. In closing, I'll relate a short example of how this early exuberance of our little Meggie has led her throughout her life to this present day. In grade 1, her teacher, whom I only had met very, very briefly, not so much at parent interviews, because we always got a note from the teacher saying that Megan is doing fine, so you really don't need to come in to see me unless you want to. Well, that grade 1 teacher, her name was Valerie. Yes, the same Valerie who became my wife several years later. Her teacher discovered early in that first year all about Meg's leadership qualities. Now remember, this is grade 1. She felt the teacher felt that if she needed to leave the room for a few moments, that Megan, with her persuasive manner, could be counted on to maintain order with the 35 or so grade 1 students, peers. Does that surprise us today? Before the year was finished, Valerie shared her secret nickname for Meg with me. And keep in mind that this was a personal term of endearment. Megan was not labeled with this nickname, and if you were ready for this, that nickname was Motormouth. And I wonder way back then if we could have ever dreamed that her propensity for language would lead her into a career where we find her today. So Wade, we are thrilled to have you, Michaela, and Gavin as true members. Where's Gavin? As true members of our clan, our family. Thank you so much, Wade, for the love you and your family have all given to her. And in the future, and to you, honey, the words, never forget. Love you both, Papa.
All right. All of you know I'm Michaela. I am Meg's stepdaughter and Wade's daughter, but just daughter for both of them. Just want to say thank you for inviting me up to talk. This day is extremely special for many reasons. Meg, I want you to know how you truly saved our family. You brought us closer and showed us the truest form of love that we've never been able to share. You stuck around during our crazy times, which I was very surprised by. When we went through the hardest thing, me and my brother, losing our mom, you truly stepped in and showed us that you would help us through it, and you did. I don't know how we would have gotten through it without you or my dad. Whew, sorry. You have taught me so many life lessons. How to live life to the fullest, how to love myself for who I am. I never knew how to do that before, and you truly showed me how. And how when times get rough, how to smile and just get through it. And just, yeah. And the most amazing lesson you taught me is how to love unconditionally. The love you have for our dad and us is just beyond amazing. I've never seen a love like that before. So that happened so fast and so quickly. I can't tell you how blessed we are to have you. If you didn't come into our lives, I'm not sure where we would be today. I know we haven't known each other for a long time, but it feels like we've known each other forever. You are one of the wisest women I know. You always have the answers to my questions and the greatest advice to anything I ask you. I know sometimes they may be weird questions, but you always have the answers. I just want you to know how incredibly loved you are by my family and by my dad. You are special in all of our eyes, and I'm so blessed to have both of you in my life. And even though my mom isn't here right now and no one could ever replace her, you've done a very good job at being our stepmom. Beyond amazing. Your family and my family are now officially one, and I'm so happy we could all celebrate in this beautiful place. Meg, you're beautiful. Thank you for your gracious presence in our lives. Dad, I want to tell you how happy I am that you found your true soulmate, and I am so happy to see you at your happiest. Sorry. You deserve the very best, and you truly, truly found that. Okay. You both are really the true image of true love, and thank you for being a great image for Gavin and I. Let's raise our glasses to an amazing couple, my parents, who are now married and we are all one family now. So, to you guys, love you.
Well, hi everyone. I truly was dreading the moment I was speaking. Yep. Mainly because when I'm in front of a crowd, I primarily say something incredibly. When I'm in front of a large crowd, I primarily say something incredibly, horribly, mind-numbingly stupid. It's just kind of nerve-wracking, but I just want to say you married one heck of a guy. You kiss each other and romantic stuff. And Dad, you married a really great woman, and wow, Meg, good luck with this one. All right, I'm just gonna raise the glass, knock them together. I'm just gonna give this back to Brandon to avoid more catastrophe.
No, please don't wake me now. This is gonna be the best day of my life. Stretch my hands out to the sky.
What a blessed place this is today. And that rainbow could have not been better for this wedding. God has truly blessed all of us here today on such a beautiful thing. Megan, I love you to the world and back. And my son has got the most beautiful girl I think I could have ever picked for him. Now my son, I know Wade and Meg were excited about getting here. But the morning that we left, I told my son, now don't drive fast because I don't know where I'm going and it's like early in the morning. Well, apparently I did not make myself clear. I'm sure Halley's Comet tail was doing 130, 140. So I tried to keep up, and then it would slow down to 110. So now I'm not sure if he's sleeping, what he's doing. Poor Gavin, I think, got a little boat sick in the truck. And my son has done pretty good over the years with the flying thing. For when he was about 10, I took Wade and Lena on their first plane ride to Vancouver. Now, Wade is not really hip on fast rides or crazy rides or anything to do with his feet leaving the ground. Okay. Stop that, son. I can't see him. So, to Vancouver was quite the horror show for him. Around 35,000 feet, we hit an air pocket. We fell enough to take us immediately out of our seats, and we levitated for a good few seconds at best. Lena was across, his sister was across from me. Wade was behind. Now Lena is loving it. Poor Wade looked like somebody had put a white sheet over him. All he could muster out was, "I told you we should have drove." So he was doing pretty good considering. I totally believe events in our life happen for a reason. Not sure as to some of them, but we didn't get instruction manuals when we were born. I believe that God has a path for us if we choose to listen and ask for guidance. And so it is here today that Wade and Megan's journey has brought the East and the West together. Megan has traveled many places and did amazing things. Her career always getting her closer and closer to her destination, Red Deer. Now, Megan alone, family back east, and I'm sure wishing upon a lot of stars, hoping that someone would be wishing on the same one. And not just any man Megan asked for. She wanted her soulmate. Maybe a couple bad habits, she said. But God, one that will love me for who I am, will want to share my dreams, my love for cooking, my tender heart, and compassion for others. Her star twinkled back, and it said, "Gotcha. I will see who's looking at me for the same thing." And now, as luck would have it, Wade was looking and asking for the same thing. Now, I was lucky enough to see Megan on their first date at the house. Now, being the mother of, I'm pretty protective. So he was 38. He's still my little boy. So here, you see, I saw him first, and I held him first. And the lady that captured his heart has to be close to perfect. Now, we all know we can never be perfect, but Megan, you are perfect for my son. You have a smile on your face, a dance to your step, and a mate for your soul. Now, Wade comes with ready-made family. Megan has taken on the mom role with tears of joy, tears of sadness, some heartache along the way. But she never once threw in the towel. I am so blessed to have such a wonderful daughter-in-law. Wade and Megan, over the journey today, we have cried together, laughed together, lost loved ones together. But our love for one another has made us strong and better than ever. I know all of your endeavors wherever they lead, you will be done with passion and love. May all of your days be met with happiness and be prosperous. This is not your final destination. This is just a stepping stone in your life's long journey. I know it will be an amazing life. Thank you for allowing me to be part of it. And my daughter sent something today on Facebook, and probably some of you never got to see it, so I'm going to read it. This is from Wade's sister. Well, today we get to welcome an amazing woman into our family. Meg Tucker, you are truly blessed. You have truly blessed your presence in our lives. You have made Wade a whole person. You have been a mother and a friend to Mickey and Gavin, and a sister to me, and a daughter to Mom and Dad and Joyce. You have quickly stole the hearts of Kate and Jay and everyone who knows you. I am so proud to see what you and Wade have accomplished over the years of your relationship. There could never be anyone more made for Wade than you. Although we aren't there to share this special day, we are there in spirit and in thought. I welcome you with open arms and exuberance to our crazy little family. Love you guys to pieces. Okay.
Hello. Close enough? It's been a long time getting here, hasn't it, Meg? And there's been some beautiful speeches tonight from all the families. Louder. Well, then I can throw the mic away. I can talk pretty damn loud. No. Meg, that's loud. You have started out with cluttering my email. I've changed my email address yesterday. I love you. Wade loves you. The whole family loves you. And I'm winging it. I don't write speeches. And I'm still waiting for that first supper. No, you won't. And Wade is a son that I've watched grow up. And he's got a kind heart, not a mean soul in his body. He's too damn kind. Apparently so. But on the other hand, too, here, very proud of you. You stuck around. You've dealt with a little bit of baggage, and that's just Wade's friends. you and we'll start out with Dean and Neil, the Boris brothers. Sound like a little bit of the Russian mafia, just the names. Then Brandon and Nathan, the cousins. Nathan couldn't make it tonight, but dealing with Brandon is a whole different story. Then you got Chris, our adopted son. There's no words for him, but a lesson learned is never feed a stray kid that shows up in your yard. He'll never leave. I love you all, and if you can hang out and put up with those guys and not run away, you got her beat. And I love you both. Thank you very much. That's it. Actually, I did write a few things. Oh, did you? Another speech? No. There's just a few things. I've heard a few stories. One about Meg. ¿Cómo está? Muy bien. I heard when you were growing up and you were in school that you were an international student once upon a time. There was something about a class and a substitute teacher. You ask your mother. Apparently you pretended that you were exactly. So you're not all that innocent. Where is it? Mike's aunts. You are all doing okay wherever you are? Oh, you're all hiding over there. Louder. Sorry. The aunts, Pam, Kate, and Brenda. Kathy. Oh, sorry. You guys are all over your flu? I'm not too sure, but the other night we went out on a sunset cruise, and after that we hadn't seen any of you guys for 2 days. But we did get a phone call from the tour company, and they still haven't seen their driver yet. I think his name was Louise. But last time I seen them, they were pounding back karaoke out on the boat and having a good time. And that's about it.
Hey everybody. First of all, thanks for everybody coming across from thousands of miles away to spend this great day with us. It's truly been a fantastic day, and I can't imagine any other way to spend it with all of my best friends. So thank you from the bottom of my heart and the bottom of our hearts. Thank you. We both know that she's the one that's better at this than me, so.
It's hard to put into words how we're feeling today, because for me, looking around the room and seeing everyone's faces that we've been seeing for the last few days has been emotional. I'm emotional about how good the tables look, because because this has been the past year of our lives. We've taken over Michaela's bedroom, and it's been stuff and stuff and stuff. And Wade said, at some point, babe, you have to stop putting things in suitcases. But we're here today, and we had the choice to be indoors, and we said we're going outdoors. We're in Mexico, and if it rains, then it rains, and we dance in the rain. And today is the best day of my entire life.
And I wish that there were some people who could be here tonight, but they weren't able, and that's okay. Those that traveled all this distance to be with us, you will never know how much that means to us to see our parents and our friends and our family. When I was 19 years old, I took a leap of faith and I moved to New York to be a nanny for 3 little boys, 2, 7, and 9. That's the 9-year-old who also is now engaged. Mom and Dad, who are like a sister, and I haven't quite still classified your role, Chris, but for Kathy and Chris and Justin and Danielle, and to Mike and Nicole and to Jake, who couldn't make it tonight. This would not be complete without seeing your faces here tonight. I love you guys. You taught me so much. You will always be my family and now our family. So from the bottom of our hearts, you guys are our people and you will be for life. So raise your glasses. Thank you. And cheers, and let's have a party. Yes, and before the night gets crazy and Brandon's got lots more stuff going on, can we just give a big round of applause to my new BFF, Claudia Riviera, who made all of this possible. She even arranged the rainbow during the ceremony, so she's one in a million, and you can't imagine the vision you have in your head, and this is a million times better than the vision, so thank you. To you and your whole team, thank you so much.
Meg, when it came down to actually sit down and put pen to paper, because I'm old-fashioned like that, I actually do use a pen and paper. I really struggled with where to start and how to describe what you mean to me and how it feels to be your friend. And I just love you, and I am so loved by you, and I appreciate you so much. I know that finally being here celebrating this amazing day with you, I know I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Simply put, God puts people in your path for a reason, and as I stand here today seeing you so radiant and so joyful, I know here is exactly where we're all supposed to be. It's said that some people come into our lives and they go as quickly as they came. Some stay for a while, others leave footprints on your heart that stay forever, and you're changed forever. That's obviously what happened when Meg arrived in my life, but also when Wade did too. Dear, sweet, patient, wonderful Wadey. God bless you, Wade. I don't know that you were properly warned about all of us, but we're so grateful that you tolerate us and that you love us in return. Meg's perfectly fitting other half. You're a great dad. You're a great friend. I know you're going to be a great husband to Meg. I have no doubts whatsoever. You're her rock. You ground her. You make her ridiculously happy. And we're just so grateful you came into her life, because that means that you came into ours and you brought gorgeous and wonderful Michaela. And where is Gavin? He's having tacos. And wonderful, amazing Gavin, who I just could not love anymore if I tried. I love you guys all so much. To my stunning friend, to our handsome Prince Charming, may you live forever in love. And may love live forever in you. Congratulations, I love you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kathy. I'm from Meg's family from New York. I'm not good off the cuff, but I couldn't not say something about Meg tonight. Meg has been part of our lives since she was 19, as she said. As so many of you who are parents, for someone to come into your home and help you deal with 3 boys that were shot out of a cannon from the second they woke up in the morning, to this woman who came with no experience of brothers, no experience of children, and handled it with incredible grace and energy, saved our lives every day. She became part of our family immediately. Kind of caught between the generations of not exactly being my child, not exactly being my sister, but she became my sister. And we would kind of try so hard to figure out a way for her to live right near us. We had dreams of her going to graduate school, meeting Prince Charming in New York. Yes, we had apartments picked out. She was staying. She was totally going to be a New Yorker. I thank you for teaching all my boys the Canadian national anthem. They absolutely always felt that Canada was their second country, and as it should be for every American. And love you, and so happy that you found Prince Charming and an incredible family, and always loved your family, always felt that they were part of us from the minute you came. And we're so honored to be here. I wish the whole clan could have been here, but they're here in spirit as well. Love you guys.
Hi everyone. My name is Danielle.
I'm Leanne. Bonnie.
We are the Real Housewives of the Brain Trust. The Brain Trust is our husbands. Wade has known them for anywhere from 20 years to 34 years, depending on the husband. The reason we call it the Brain Trust is because they all share a brain when they're in close proximity to each other. So you've been warned. Just so you know, this is very close proximity. And they have alcohol. We would like to welcome Meg into the Brain Trust. You are now a real housewife. Lucky you. Because unfortunately, sometimes we share the brain too, and it's not so good. The other thing we wanted to say, because we are sappy kind of people, people come into your life for either a reason, a season, or a lifetime. A reason is to teach you a lesson. A season is to teach you something about friendship. And a lifetime is exactly what we have with you. We love you so much. We're so glad Wade found you, for our sake. We were a little outnumbered there for a while, not really liking it. We love you, and we're so happy for you guys.
And welcome to the family.
For everybody that doesn't know, Megan never ever had a shower until she had one here, a bridal shower here in Black Falls. Leanne, Danielle, and Bonnie were the shower fairies. They did an absolutely beautiful, wonderful job, and Megan cried with every gift that went by. I'm sure that Black Falls no longer has any Kleenex, because that's how much was used. But I would just love to say thank you to them girls for such a beautiful job that they did, putting it all together and everything that went. They did a wonderful job. So I just want everybody to give them a hand for that. It was wonderful.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're the Brain Trust. In case you haven't figured that out at this point, Neil, Dean, the Russian brothers. I'm Chris. We're probably not going to need that. So, at this point, you all know, and I'm going to say it one more time. I hope I don't offend anybody. I do that from time to time. I hope not to offend anybody. So, to be a little on the sappy side, I'd like, no, before sappy, let's point out, I did see a flaw in the wedding. It's only a small one, but they didn't print anything right. On all of your black, if you read the top, who are those people? Because since Meg has been with Wade, I haven't heard anything besides Wadey and Maggie.
So I was actually kind of baffled for a minute or two when I read that first header there. Yeah, it was a little baffling, but we got it sorted out. Anyway, sorry, didn't mean to point out the flaw there. So Meg, when you came into the group, it was an easy transition for all of us. You fit, because your personality is like the rest of us. You're fun-loving, you're caring, you're easy to get along with.
And we like soup.
Yeah, and we like soup. I got the brain right now. I've been hanging around Wade and the Anderson family for a long time, and I've never seen Wade so happy and so giddy right from coming out of the chute. He had pictures of you on his phone. He's like, oh, you got to look at this girl. This is the girl. And then she's on the radio, and you got to listen to her. And then he made us all listen to you for a while.
It wasn't creepy at all.
But his personality changed instantly, and 100% for the better when you came into his life. He instantly brightened up, and the way you incorporated his family into your own was pretty cool, which again has been said here, but I mean, it's just it is an awesome thing to watch. And a sec, I'm losing the brain. It's going. You might have to come up and finish this, Wade. Anything else? Okay, I'm done. I lost the brain. Okay, low fives.
I'm back. I forgot one special thing I need to say. There's a man that has been in my son's life for a long time, and I know that if anything ever happened to Wade, I know he would be there in a heartbeat. He always has his back, and Wade has his, and that is his cousin Brandon. Brandon has been there for him through thick and thin. For when Michaela and Gavin's mom passed away, he was there. And it didn't matter. It doesn't matter what time in the morning or anything else. Brandon will be there. And I love that boy forever and ever.
So first, I wanted to give Jill's speech, which is Meg's sister, who couldn't be here, but she's with her here today in her heart, with all of us. Meg and Wade, I'm sorry that Jesse and Noah and I couldn't be there with you on your very happy day. And Meg, as you know, I'm not a gushy person. I've always let you handle that stuff. But I wanted to tell you both how happy I am for you. You and Wade are perfect for one another, and we are so happy that Wade, Gavin, and Michaela are part of our family now. To keep everyone smiling on this special day, I thought it would be fun to share a funny story. Hopefully it will stop some of the sobs, Meg. Meg might tell this story a little bit different than me, says Jill. One night, when we were about 12 and 9 years old, up in Florenceville, Meg, our friend Leah, and I were outside at night, pitch black, in the paddock, with our horse Trucks. And well, we decided to try to ride in the dark. Unfortunately, Meg's legs were too short for the stirrups. So I decided to tie her legs to the stirrups so she would be able to balance better. Well, of course, Trucks got spooked by something, and she started to make a run for it. Poor Meg went flying off, but since one of her legs stayed tied, she was sort of dragged behind the horse. I managed to stop the horse and get Meg untied, and she was no worse for wear. Yeah, we don't think. From what we know. Now, again, she may tell the story differently, like Jill tried to kill her or something. But Meg isn't dramatic at all, is she? So, she was totally fine. Meg, the reason for this particular story is to remind you of all the good times you and I shared as sisters growing up, riding horses and having fun, but to also let everyone know that Meg has always been an actress, and she is very good at making people laugh. Wade, I hope you and she have a lifetime of laughter. We send all of our love from Jill, Jesse, and Noah. We love you to the moon and back.
Well, hold on before I do anything. All right. I just wanted to let you know, Meg, about something I really love doing with Meg. I love scaring the living bejeebus out of her. Yes, I love it so much. Serious. Go on Meg's Facebook page, because she posted one of the greatest scares I've done on her in a long time. See, you know what she was doing? She was talking on the phone while cooking. I decided to go, you know what? I'm going to record this. I just start slowly walking up to her. I started walking up to her. She didn't notice me for a good 15 seconds. I'm just standing there. I'm just trying to stay out of her sight before she stops cooking. When she stops cooking, I just move slightly closer to her. Like she was just like, oh, I bet his parents are freaking out. Hi, I'm... Then all of a sudden... It's much funnier if you watch the video, but... Still, I was laughing so hard, and I stopped the video right before she said a curse. All right. Let's see who can come up next.
So the next speech that I have lined up for you, Meg, is Stacy's from your stepsister. Stacy came into Meg's life when she was mere 9 years old. At that time, Stacy's older brother, Gary, and Meg's older sister, Jill, were already out on their own, leaving Stacy and Meg to live together as sisters for some time. Stacy writes, Meg, when I think of you, I think of loving life. That is what you represent to me. You see, Meg has always been so full of life, inquisitive, and ready to take on an adventure, such as Wim's picnics in the summer, where one of us would be complaining about something. Or even better, our Christmas road trip to Florida. We got lost on a few occasions. We even stopped at a chimpanzee monkey farm of sorts, which was absolutely awful. Terrible conditions, and we even stumbled upon a large cage and sign that read, Big Mike throws poo and spits. It has been a running joke ever since. Now, I know for a fact that they're not talking about Meg's father, Mike, because as I understand from Stacy and Meg, Mike was quite a hunk back in their school days. And I believe it. That's a handsome fellow over there. When we first met Sunday night, just one look in those eyes and I was done. Stacy continues. Other memories that stand out to me is also around Christmas time, reading Jack Handy's deep thoughts around the table and Christmas dinner and laughing so hard that tears were rolling down our cheeks. And finally, a Christmas tradition between Meg and I, the what the hell is that gift. We find 3 or 4 obscure gifts for each other that would make us think, what the hell is that? We would then have to guess, and much laughter would always ensue as we came up with ridiculous guesses. I absolutely love this tradition. In closing, Meg is amazing at what she does for a living, which I admire so much. And Meg, you have a smile that seriously shines. Wade and his wonderful kids are so blessed to have her. And to have her and she them. Meg, you have your family now, and I couldn't be happier. Much love to my sister and her hubby. She's truly found her home. I so wish that I could be there with her to celebrate with all of you, but I hope you know that I am there in your heart through these words. All my love, Stacy. So the next one I have from your BFF, Carla. It's short and sweet, but it is sweet. So Carla's speech. To my dearest friend Meg, today and every day you are in my heart. Your smile, warmth, and kindness are with me always. As you begin your new life today, I wish you love, peace, and happiness, which I know you have found with Wade. You are home, a perfect pair, always. Thank you so much for being my sister, friend, and partner in crime. Oh, the fun that we've had. No matter what life has thrown, you and I have faced it all with laughter. The inside jokes, stories, and laughs, what a gift to be able to look back at all of our memories. I would like to say thank you to Wade for making Meg the happiest girl in the world. You are so good to her. Thank you greatly. My heart is with both of you today and always. To Mr. and Mrs. Anderson, sending my love and congratulations from the bottom of my heart, Carla. The next one is from Gwen. Where do I start? Let's start at the beginning. That's what most people do, right? One of our first of 100 group brunch dates, after exchanging some fantastic presents and before we made her pay, which is a new girl thing, there were some epic conversations. So epic and maybe slightly elevated in volume that they stopped seating people around us. I'm not sure what Gwen is talking about, Meg. That doesn't sound like anything like you. No. Nevertheless, this is my favorite. This is my favorite part of Gwen's speech. These group brunches will forever be called the BWB, or the bitches who brunch. As many of you can see, I take food seriously. I do. I absolutely love that name. Gwen continues, since that brunch was so long ago, we have continued to have some wonderful friendship moments. Meg is an auntie to both my boys, and her beautiful mummy is Grandma Ann. Our love of Hallmark Christmas movies and shows on Lifetime, squishy babies, pearls, slouchy toques, and ridiculously fast texting conversations have just cemented our relationship and brought us closer together. When I was on mat leave with my son Pierce, Meg and I got to see each other multiple times a week for our walks. I missed them so much that I had another son just to do it again for another year. Smiley face. I asked Pierce what we wanted to say. He belted out, "Happy birthday, Annie Egg." I have no idea where that came from. Meg, I'm also supposed to tell you, if they don't work, rip those bitches off, embrace it. And I was told you might not believe this from Gwen unless I threw the cursing in there. Meg, I love you like a sister, and I'm so sad I cannot be there for you today. Congratulations, and we will celebrate when you come back home. the third one that I have, Aunt Ruth and Cousin Julie. Dear Megan, since we could not come to Mexico, we have both decided to dress up in our finest taffeta turquoise dresses today. We are standing in said dresses while holding a long stemmed glass full of champagne and standing in the children's sandbox to get the effect of being on the beach with you. We're trying to ignore the fact that it is -1, but whatever. And just at the appropriate moment when we think you might have been saying your vows, we too simultaneously broke into sobs. That is the best that we can do to make ourselves feel like we are there with you on this day. So it is with warm hearts and frozen feet that we send so much love and support to you, Maggie, and Wadey on this beautiful milestone day. To Gavin and Michaela, good luck trying to control the wacky newlyweds. We are afraid their giddiness might last, well, for a lifetime, and they may forever be the source of embarrassment for you in public. Oh well. They are the kind of kooky little hamsters, cute and harmless, that are perfect for each other. We hope you can feel the hugs and kisses that we are sending you over the miles. We want to raise our glasses to you and hope, and to you, the happy couple, and to all who are there to bless you. Congratulations, and may God bless you all on this wonderful day. Love, Ruth and Julie. My speech. Wade, I don't know if I've actually ever gotten to share just how much I care about you, bud. Ever since I was a kid, there has never been anyone else I wanted to hang out with more than you. I've even clearly remember as a child throwing fits when my brother got to go hang out with you and I wasn't allowed to tag along. But now as an adult, the fact that I can comprehend what our relationship is and the meaning behind it is a true blessing to me. You see, although we are cousins, that's not how I see you. You have always been my other big brother from another mother. I have always looked up to you and admired you. Your positive attitude, even in negative situations, is infectious. Combine that with your humor and unconditional compassion for the well-being of others, and boom, I think you have the recipe for the nicest guy in the world. Although I have outgrown you and you now look up to me, I just want you to know I still admire the hell out of you. Physically. I still admire the hell out of you, and I will always be there for you anytime you need. I would lay down my life for you, and that's the truth. I could share a ton of memories, but for the sake of time and the fact that I'm not sure if any of them would be appropriate, I'll be happy to share them with everybody off mic afterwards. Meg, after meeting you for the first time, I was convinced Wade had met the nicest woman in the world. And now we have this big love ball of niceness that has blossomed into today. Cuteness overload. Today, the nicest woman in the world marries the nicest guy in the world. Here's a headline. As much as people say opposites attract, this time they're wrong. Because you have such a love for life, and I see so many of the same characteristics in you as are in Wade. Like the compassion for others, your love to cook, and your positive infectious attitude. My favorite, however, something that Wade does not possess, you and I equally share a really big laugh. Meg, I also admire you, and for so many reasons, I couldn't be happier for you. Wadey is truly the best man I know, and he is now your king for life. Wade, today you married your queen, but remember, just because you're the king doesn't mean you're the boss. Just as in the game of chess, in your marriage, the king protects the queen at all costs. Remember, Wade, the king only bows to one person, and that is his queen. Meg, I know Wade will forever fulfill his duties as your king, and you'll always be in good hands. Thank you for making him the happiest man in the world today, and take good care of him. To the bride and groom, cheers.
Brandon was a lot more prepared than me. I don't have an iPad. But Brandon and I have been together since about 2009. And since then, I've always known Wade. However, the majority of our relationship has been you coming over and playing Call of Duty. So for the most part, it's been, Kate, I'll leave you guys alone, and then hearing lots of cursing from downstairs. Sometimes at each other. We also actually used to work up north with Wade, and I remember one of the first days that Meg and Wade were actually texting each other. I went out to the tool crib to see Wade for something work-related, and he showed me his phone of all these numerous text messages from Meg, over and over and over and over again, all about one sentence each. And I couldn't help but think, like, my God, can this girl talk? Which is great because, Wade, you tend to be a little quiet. But once I actually got to meet Meg, I don't cry. You are 100% the most genuine, friendliest person I've ever met in my entire life. I've never met somebody who genuinely, when they sit down and they ask you a question, they want to know the answer. You're an adorable little ball of energy that sometimes I just don't know what to do with you. But Wade does, and that's what matters. To the happy couple.
We are going to wrap up the speeches and get to some dancing, but we just wanted to also say a special thank you to my East Coast family, and I'll say East Coast because Kat is originally East Coast. Kat and Corey, who have come from Calgary. Just really quickly, Kat works for WestJet. So I've unofficially appointed her. If you have any questions about your flights, talk to Kat. And Kat called me a couple of days before the wedding, and she said, okay, she knows how I operate because we're very similar. And she said, first thing out of her mouth, this doesn't affect us coming to the wedding, however. And I said, okay, what is it? She said, well, long story short, it's going to be very busy next week for us to get a flight to Mexico. So I called Corey at work, and I said, you need to take 2 extra days off work. We're going to Mexico tonight. So they've now already been in Mexico the better part of a week at a different resort, took extra time off work, and then transferred to our resort. So thank you to Kat and Corey for making the trip. And it was trains, planes, and automobiles to get here. And to Amber and Russ, who took time off work, and to Sage, Mick's best friend. And I think we've mentioned everyone else, and we didn't want to leave you guys out. So couldn't have more special friends with us. So thank you.
And finally, the last thing that we need to say is thank you to Meg for planning this night. None of this would have been possible without her, and I think I've heard several people say now that this has been the most beautiful experience that they've ever had. And without you, this never would have been possible. You planned everything, and it's beautiful, and I can't thank you enough. I love you.